who I am as a person. I'm a creator. I love to build things. I love to just kind of create things. And oftentimes you sort of think of engineering as a very mathematical profession, but it is very much a creator profession. One of my people that I look up to is I had a mentor in high school who she built furniture. It was really fascinating to see the process by which, like, one builds furniture and all the pieces that go with it. But it gave me a passion for just kind of seeing that there's more to kind of beauty in the building of it. That's been a big influence for me. That mentor also is who encouraged me to go to college. I never really once thought that I could even afford college and not even be in college. Her guidance was really instrumental.
A little bit of background. I actually come from a very Hispanic field. I used to work at a Hispanic radio station. I had 4 Hispanic radio stations. So I learned a lot about the different Hispanic market and sales and promotion. So I came from that. I learned a lot from it. I learned that culture really is, there's just, we're all the same. And the way that, Hispanic market works versus like a regular corporate American business, it really all ties together into one. So I really enjoyed my time there. I think what kind of influenced me is I started there really young. I think I was like 20 years old. And I just got to meet all these wonderful people older than me because I was the baby. And they really guided me into I had taken a break from school. Some of you might know I had my son really early at 16 years old. So it took me a bit longer to graduate. But they were always my pushers. They were always like, you got to go back because you don't want to, be here until you're 50 or 60. Like, you have to go back. So I would have never left if it wasn't for that. But they were my pushers to go be more. You could be more. And everybody, and it all ties back into also for me, they were a very Hispanic culture community. It's all love and family.
I think probably this is the case for a lot of Latinx and Hispanic folks, is to find your community. Even within my community, within the Hispanic community and Latinx community, because it is such a large group, I have an accent that's different than Laura's accent possibly, and maybe than a few of you, because I grew up, by the way, my background is I'm Puerto Rican, but I have a Puerto Rican accent. And so being able to find my community is a skill that I think oftentimes we maybe don't necessarily think of as a strength, but it's important to understand how to do that. Find the people that you can be you around. I worked alongside a lot of folks as a software engineer that didn't look like me, that oftentimes didn't speak the same language, that weren't bicultural Spanish speaking. You hear this kind of term of code switching.
Yeah.
That sort of exists, and it's real. It's real. But I think part of what I want to share is that being able to find your community where you're at is so valuable and so important. As a young person playing sports with parents who only spoke Spanish, I oftentimes became the translator. Wouldn't it be amazing if technology can do that? And I think that is TeamSnap is an opportunity here to unlock some of the opportunities. As there's value in sports, and I think when you can communicate that value to a community, they're willing to pay. And at the end of the day, as a parent myself now, I recognize that sports is more than just a time where my boys are out swinging a bat. But it's a place where they build community. It's a place where they fail and then learn to get back up. It's a place where they learn to win and win well, and they learn when they win terribly and they don't act a certain kind of way. That's not the right way to do things. There's more to sports than just the sport.
Being able to open those opportunities to those brands that are talking to this, Hispanic market, how they're doing it. You see all the top brands doing it. You see Disney and all of those big brands, Nike, they're all doing these commercials and, really tailoring. So there's always that opportunity for, sponsorship. There's also, I come from sports org. So like for me, for example, sports organizations are a big thing in my town where I live, but they're very Hispanic, focused. They are just like the Hispanic community. They don't run registration through a system. They run registration by paper and taking cash, and having to share the knowledge of like, this is how you could do it to better, use your system or better grow your organization. I think there's so much opportunity there that's not being taken advantage yet.